Have you been feeling the call to either ayahuasca or iboga and unsure which path is right for you? In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down both of these sacred plants, where they come from, what their general energy is, to support you in making the choice that is best for you in your life right now. If you're new here, my name is Zoey. I am a certified professional coach, and I support people with plant medicine preparation and integration. I also support at different retreat centers. If you're curious about both of these medicines and feel the call to dive deeper, I have playlists on both of them, which I'll leave down below. But let's get into it. You must be here because you're feeling the call, and that is something that's truly very special. It definitely can start off as a bit of a curiosity, a pull from your heart, or perhaps these plants have been making their way to you in your dream space. So what is plant medicine? Plant medicine is a term used to describe sacred plants that people have been using for thousands of years to resolve different issues in their lives. And specifically, ayahuasca comes from the Amazon jungle and is used in shamanic traditions, and iboga comes from Africa and is used in the sacred traditions of the Bwiti in Gabon. So both of these plants originate in very different parts of the world, and what I'll say is that they are very different in nature. They are both classified as psychedelics, but in my personal experience, having worked with these medicines for 7 years, there are huge differences between them, and it is actually very challenging to describe them as one versus the other. But as you're listening to me speak, notice what stands out to you and what feels like it's resonating with you in your heart space, because that is a sign that you're putting the pieces together when it comes to understanding the call. So first, let's talk about ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is feminine in nature. You may have heard her being referred to as Mother Ayahuasca or the grandmother, because there is this overall feminine embrace that she offers. She will show you different life patterns. She will show you different unresolved trauma from the past. She will support you in healing your heart. She will guide you on a very sacred journey to learning how to love yourself more deeply and make sense of this journey called life. Many people will experience visuals on this medicine, and they can be very colorful, very connected to nature, lots of visuals of plants, animals, the different elements, and even outer space. In my personal experience, I've received incredible visuals on this medicine, and I've also had ceremonies where there wasn't many visuals and there was more of a somatic experience happening. And ayahuasca herself presented herself as more of a felt sense versus a visual figure. So in saying that, it's also important to note that every time that you enter into a ceremony, it's going to be a different experience every time. Drop all expectations, because you never know what you're going to get. Both of these plants will show you what you need versus what you may want. So ayahuasca is typically taken in group settings with a shaman. And once you take the medicine, there will be music as a part of the ceremony. There may also be movement or dancing at times. And if you sit with the Shipibo tradition, you may have the opportunity to listen to Ikaros, which is where there will be facilitators in ceremony specifically singing different songs, which very much feel like deep vibrations penetrating through your system as you're on the medicine, in order to support you in releasing what's no longer serving you. One thing I've observed about people receiving the call to ayahuasca specifically is that they're at a point in their life where they need to make a radical change by looking at themselves more deeply. Ayahuasca will generally give a deep and thorough understanding of the past, and she will also guide you into a spiritual awakening. Life was completely different after I took that first cup of ayahuasca. I looked at the universe and my relationship with God very differently after that, in a very loving and supportive way. She's a mother with a whole lot of love to give to you. Now let's talk about iboga, because this psychedelic is very different from ayahuasca. Iboga doesn't cut any corners. There's no questions. Iboga will lead you directly to what you need to see and understand and receive from that plant and that ceremony. Iboga can be visual as well. It will definitely be working very deeply in your body. You will not leave the ceremony with questions. If you come to the ceremony with questions, iboga will give you all the answers. It is the medicine of truth. A big theme of iboga is cleansing, and specifically cleansing your brain. Part of the experience in taking this medicine is that you'll receive a brain scrub, which is basically getting rid of anything that doesn't serve you and any thoughts or belief systems that are not in alignment with self-love. It is very thorough, very focused on cleansing and reprogramming. So one of the main differences between Ayahuasca and Iboga is the ceremony setting. So with Iboga, generally there is a smaller group of people because you are in ceremony much longer than Ayahuasca. Typically Ayahuasca, I would say, lasts about 8 hours, but Iboga can last up to 72 hours. That means that you will have an experience in ceremony, and then you will spend some time by yourself in a safe environment to process the medicine in deeper ways. It takes you on a longer journey. It will go to all the places that it needs to get you to the place that you want to be. And sometimes that takes time. What I will say about that long extended journey is that it isn't painful and you don't actually feel tired and deprived of sleep. You just feel that you're doing a lot of work, but a lot of really good work. And I feel like if you're watching this video, you're definitely somebody who is dedicated to self-development and improvement and just creating the life that you desire. So this will be overall a pleasant experience for you, even if it can be uncomfortable in moments. So a bigger question here is how to know about which one is right for you. And what I'll say is that in my personal experience and what I've observed in others is that if you are seeking a spiritual awakening, if you are seeking a deeper connection to nature, if you recognize that there's deep healing of the heart that needs to happen, that's typically where ayahuasca tends to really serve. And if you're somebody who's looking at really reprogramming their mind, doing deep work on their physical body with anything that's manifesting, or you're ready to cut cycles and patterns like addiction, Iboga is definitely the plant for you. And before you make any type of decision on which path to take, it's important to really use your discernment in choosing which facility is right for you. So there are all different types of places all around the world where you can take these sacred plants. It's very important to understand the power of set and setting when taking part in these ceremonies. It is of the highest importance that you are safe. It is the highest importance that you feel safe, that you feel trusting in ingesting these plants and knowing that you will be well taken care of. And that's basically me saying, do your research. It's definitely important when researching these facilities as well that the providers and the shamans have a deep connection with the medicines as well as reverence for where they come from, the sacred traditions, because that will all lead towards a more powerful experience for you. Now I'm going to share a couple of personal reflections about these medicines. In my personal experience, ayahuasca is very ethereal in nature, and she supported me in opening my heart even deeper to experience a greater level of love for myself and for my life. And she set me off on a grand spiritual awakening. And since then, I've been showing up on YouTube sharing about the plants itself. She has had a lasting and profound impact on my life, and she will always be a part of my life. Ayahuasca truly is a very powerful teacher and a very powerful mother, and she will most certainly change your life in beautiful ways. When it comes to Iboga, I first experienced this medicine as a very masculine energy. It was very potent, very thorough. Iboga, for me, is a medicine of truth, and it is also a medicine of miracles. I will say ayahuasca provided me with miracles as well, but Iboga has created changes and shifts in my life and in my physical being that I didn't even think were possible. And to me, that has continued to provide so many blessings in my life. It's important to note, too, that the Iboga journey is much longer, as I said. In different retreats that I've been to, it feels like once you take Iboga, you're kind of in the experience the whole way through versus ayahuasca. You might have multiple ceremonies in a retreat that kind of give you all different experiences that you're left to integrate. You'll maybe be doing some yoga, be moving around, doing breath work or dance, something like that. When you do Iboga, you're really just going in to do the deep work, and it's definitely worth it. It's definitely rewarding. So in conclusion, you know which path is right to take for you because you're the one experiencing the call. Both of these sacred plants are incredibly powerful and require respect and reverence in working with them. Do your research, practice discernment, and trust your intuition when it comes to deciding where to meet these medicines for the first time or the next time. And if preparation or integration support would be helpful for you along your journey, please reach out to me via the link down below. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to work with you. This is truly such a special moment in life, receiving the call and choosing to answer it. And I just want to acknowledge you for being incredibly brave. Wishing you a beautiful day, and I'll see you again soon.